What's going on, guys? Had a pretty crazy week this last week. This video here just kind of had to condense all my training back to back because I was heading out to Chicago for the Fit Expo to help one of my lifters um, handle her for the meet. So I just had to put everything together, and by the end of the week, recovery and my body was feeling pretty beat up. I managed to make it through with some pretty good weight being lifted, but by the end of the week, everything just kind of felt a little bit heavier than it should. But this was the start of the week. Hit up some back training. Everything felt really good. The extra weight is definitely playing a pivotal role in kind of like the work you can get done throughout the day, or the time frame it gets done. All the work gets done, but when you're putting on weight, you tend to have a little bit of more issues recovering set to set, and you also get back pumps, which can really take you out and make you have to sit down and wait till they go away or change movement. So although I feel really good and healthy putting on this extra weight, it definitely has its limitations as well, and you just got to kind of work around it and know that the workouts may take a little bit longer, and your back's always going to feel a little bit tight, but not to fret too much about it. Just keep pushing, and your body will eventually stabilize with the weight, and you'll feel good and you'll feel fresh. And that's kind of why I've been keeping in the cardio 3 to 4 times a week, just so I can continue to push and continue to stay somewhat healthy while adding the extra weight, because it's not a typical weight gain for me. I'm trying to get up to the weight as rapidly as possible, not by eating like pure crap, but just to get up there by increasing my calories and eating really good food. And that way I'm there as fast, and I can just sit and maintain and allow my body to recomp while at that body weight, so I get used to that body weight, so I can compete at that body weight and cut down to the 242 class. So that's kind of the goal. That's kind of the way things are going. So over the next couple weeks, I'll definitely be pushing up to about 255, 260 hopefully, and then just kind of settle in around that body weight. I've done 20, 25 pound weight cuts before, and they've worked out pretty fine. And now that I'm with Chris, who's a master at weight cutting, definitely shouldn't be an issue. So here's some squats and pulls from Monday. Weight felt good. This is my moderately heavy week, so just pushing sets of 8. Did 4 sets of 8 here with 470 pounds, I believe. 470 pounds with the Duffalo bar, 60 pounds. So everything feels good. I was gonna kind of condense things and put them to different angles so make the video look better, but it all makes it look like it's in one set, and I didn't want to do that this time. I just wanted to kind of show like the work that goes into it, right? Set after set, the same weight. And I'm sure for a lot of viewers it can be monotonous, it can be a little bit of a drag, but it's what it takes. You don't go in there and you hit one thing and then you move on to the next. It takes a bunch of repeated effort, repeated attempts, repeated position, technique. It's about honing in on your craft, and the best way for me to relate it is when I was in the Marines, and we'd have to go out on missions, and we had to practice these missions over and over and over again, practice different scenarios and different outcomes, 10, 15, 20 times a day, get about a couple hours of sleep, get up and do it again in the heat, in the rain. It doesn't matter, because when you're out there, you don't dictate your circumstances. Your circumstances come and you go based off of your training. And I kind of do the same approach, same methodology when it comes to powerlifting or anything that I do. If I want to be relentless in the pursuit of it, I gotta put in the work. I gotta put in the hours of continuous repetitions, continuous steady movements. So that way, if I train and I make training really hard and I continue to do the same thing and dial it all in, on meet day, no matter what the circumstances are, you're gonna perform well. It's a grind that you have to go in and you have to be prepared for. I know a lot of people like to go to the gym and chase after exercises that they enjoy doing, and they don't really do stuff over and over again, you know. But you see a lot of the great guys, they'll do set after set after set, and you know that may be it, and they're at the top of the game. You don't see a lot of the best guys having a huge variety of exercises and going in, and you know, for me, it just makes so much sense to train that way, to continue to hit the same weight, the same motor patterns, and move it for as many sets and as many reps as you can, while keeping good technique. And you know, that's the thing when I was in Iraq was, you know, if you didn't practice, you know, meticulously and put in hours and hours of work, you know, there's no telling if you're going to be able to make it back. You know, you don't know how you're going to react to things until they happen. But if you put in the work and you put in the time, then you're going to be better adapted to certain stimulus, certain situations that most people won't be. You know, there's a certain mentality you have when you bust your ass in the gym that creates this sense of, no matter what, I'm going to get the job done because I've worked harder than everyone else. And if you go into the gym with that mentality, that workman's mentality of, you know, I'm not going to be outworked on the gym and I'm not going to be outlifted on the platform, then you're going to be successful. And if you can transfer that over into your daily life, then that's going to be successful. You know, there's no reason that you can't take lessons from your hobbies or your job or anything. You know, I take a lot of my life lessons from the military and what I've learned, and I've been able to have my own business and work for myself ever since I got out. I was able to pursue college and graduate in 2.5 years. You know, so it's one of those things where if you can develop that mentality and that mindset of, you know, just waking up and busting your ass day in and day out. It may be boring, it may be monotonous, it may be the same thing over and over again, right? It's not fancy, it's not all glance and you know, it's not all glamorous, it's not all, you know, rainbows and unicorns. It's hard work, it's boring work a lot of the time, but you enjoy the process and you know what you're gonna reap from it. You know, you reap what you sow, and that's so true in any endeavor that you do. Put in the time, put in the hustle, put in the work. And you hear a lot of people talk about balance, and you know, if you love what you do and you push yourself to the extreme on it, then fuck balance, right? You're doing what you love, why not chase it with everything you have? You know, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and until next time, catch you guys later.